One of the top wholesalers in the industry, if not arguably the best in the industry, is my friend RJ Bates. And he has the accolades to back it up. He won the 2021 and 2023 Closer Olympics, the 2022 Wholesaling Live Closer Challenge, and he's undefeated in 4 closer cage matches. Not only a fierce competitor, but one thing I love about RJ is while most wholesalers replace themselves and eventually hire sales reps, not RJ. He's remained on the phones, personally closing deals every single day. He even closed 50 deals in 50 states in 50 days, which is proof alone that his methods work. So I've studied RJ, and what I've discovered is he follows a no-nonsense approach to close sellers that I've broken down into 5 simple steps that I'm gonna share with you here on this video. But first, if you're new here, my name's Jerry Norton. I make millions of dollars a year wholesaling and flipping houses. And here on my YouTube channel, I show you how to do the same. So if you want to be a flipping genius like me and live your dream life, subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. Now, before I reveal RJ's exact sales playbook, I want to point out 5 unique things that will give proper context to RJ's sales process. First of all, like I mentioned, RJ closes on the phone virtually. He does not go on appointment. Now that's significant because his goal is to do a one-call close and get the seller to sign a digital contract right then and there. The second thing I want to point out about RJ is his go-to marketing channel is to create inbound leads from online ads. Inbound leads means the seller sees an ad online, fills out a form, or calls a number. When the seller calls in, their intent or motivation is really high. That means you close more deals for deeper discounts with shorter conversion cycles. With inbound internet leads, RJ's goal is to convert 1 out of every 7 to 10 leads. Now, by the way, if you'd like a recommendation on who you can use to help you set up, run, and manage your online lead generation, I'll give you my go-to service provider in the description box below. Now, the third thing that I want to point out about RJ's sales approach is his average call time is around 4 minutes, which is insane. Now, compare that to most sales presentations, which average around 30 minutes with the same close ratio of 1 in 10 leads. That means RJ can get through 7 times more calls in the same time as most wholesalers that are using a longer sales process. Now, the fourth thing I want to point out is RJ's method is not a complicated sales script. In fact, I actually consider it an anti-sales approach. It's simple, it's clear, and it's right to the point. That means you don't need any sales experience to master his techniques. Anyone can learn how. Having said that, RJ is the first to tell you to not copy his style. Copy his process, but you have to talk in your own authentic voice. Remember, people do business with people they know, like, and trust, and authenticity is more effective than any kind of sales tactic. And finally, the 5th thing that you need to know about RJ's sales approach is to remember that you are not selling something like most sales. You are the buyer, which means the seller should be convincing you to buy their house, not you convincing them to sell you their house. It's a subtle difference in how you position yourself, but has a huge impact in the overall sales process. So now with that proper context, let's break down RJ's 5-step sales process. Once RJ gets an internet lead, step 1 is to verify the seller still wants to sell. It sounds like this. Hi, this is RJ. I see you filled out one of our forms on the internet about selling your house on 123 Main Street. Do you still want to sell that house? Okay, step 2 is where RJ differs from everyone else. He directly asks what price the seller wants. He literally asks in the first 60 seconds, what price do you want for your house on 123 Main Street?
Hey, is Kim there?
This is she.
Hey, Kim, this is RJ Bates calling you about your property in Jay, Oklahoma. You had entered it on our website saying you wanted to sell that one?
Yes.
Awesome. How much you looking to get for that property?
And according to RJ, which I've witnessed firsthand, 90% of the time, the seller gives their price. RJ's philosophy is they raised their hand, they filled out a form that they want to sell. Why not ask them point blank what price they want? Seems logical. So you might be wondering, what does RJ do if the seller won't give the price? Well, here's what he does. He moves on to step 3, then comes right back and says, are you sure you don't have a price in mind? I don't want to waste your time or my time. I'm sure you've got a number in mind. And if they still won't give a number, he'll say, are you afraid that I might offer more than the price you give me? Because I can promise you that won't happen. Now that's brilliant right there. Okay, so after asking price, step 3 is to ask open-ended questions about the property and the seller situation. He'll say, tell me about the property, what's going on? And this is where you need to be quiet and listen, because the seller will tell you the most important things to them. This is where you'll uncover their pain and motivation. Continue asking open-ended questions such as, why do you want to sell this property? Or why haven't you listed this property with a real estate agent? At this step, get them to do most of the talking. And once you understand everything the seller is openly willing to tell you, step 4 is to ask close-ended questions. This is where you dive into the details like what's the square footage or how old is the roof and so on. At the same time, step 4 is where RJ comps the property and runs his buy formula. And finally, step 5 is where RJ decides if it's a deal and moves forward or ends the call. If the price is a good deal, RJ will say, if I can cover all of the closing fees, buy this property as is with no commissions, what's the best price you can do? Just asking that simple question will often result in an additional 10 to 20% price drop. Now, if the seller's price is too high, RJ will pull away and say, I'm not the right buyer for you. And with that pull away, if the seller is actually motivated, they will reveal that to you and come down on price. So once RJ has a verbal agreement, before hanging up, he tees up a digital offer, emails it to the seller, waits until they open it, reviews it with the seller over the phone, and gets it signed. So let's quickly recap RJ's 5-step sale process. Step 1, do they want to sell? Step 2, what price do they want? Step 3, find the motivation by asking open-ended questions. Step 4, find out details about the property by asking closed-ended questions, and run comps and determine your desired buy price. And step 5, decide if it's a deal and execute a contract while still on the phone. And by the way, you can follow RJ's 5-step close process cold calling outbound with only one additional step. You or your VA cold calls the lead and asks, do you want to sell? If yes, it's considered a lead and you ask about price, condition, and if it's vacant or occupied. Then that lead is passed on to you or your sales rep who asks, do you want to sell your property on 123 Main Street? Yes, okay, great. What price do you want? And then follow the same sales process I just outlined. So if RJ's methods resonate with you, leave a comment and say, RJ, you're a flipping genius. And if you want to learn more about how to implement his techniques, I'll put a link in the description where you can get more advanced training directly from RJ and his team. And finally, RJ and I did a YouTube Live where he called sellers and I called agents. Be sure to watch that video now, and I'll see you on the next video.